Hi once again everyone, welcome to Acing Accounting. So in today's video we'll be looking at September 2022, your accounting paper 2. So we'll be specifically looking at your reconciliations, which is question 2 of this paper. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. Share with your friends, family who also need help with accounting. Alright, and then going into the question, it is 35 marks for 30 minutes. And then we are going to start with question 2.1. It says here, indicate whether each of the following statements are true or false. Right, only true or false next to each number. Okay, so 2.1.1 says cash withdrawal fee and interest on overdraft on a bank statement are recorded as bank charges in the cash payment journal. I know if you're reading as quickly as possible, you would say this is true. But if you would look at this, interest on overdraft is recorded separately from your cash withdrawal fee. So this will make this whole statement false. Alright. And then 2.1.2 says a credit balance on the bank statement represents a favorable balance for the bank. Okay, so this is true because on the business we record at the bank and then it increases on the debit balance, and then the bank records our account. Let's say we are what's the name of the business? Acing Accounting. So this is our account at the bank. So this is our credit, this is our debit. We increase here because the bank owes us money. We are a creditor to them. Alright. So when we move on to 2.1.3, it says it is not necessary to prepare a bank reconciliation statement because the bank will always provide the correct bank balance. This is so false. Alright, so these are our answers. We have false here, true, and then we have false. Those are three answers. And then 2.2 says Amadev stores. The information relates to July 2022. The official bank statement used for reconciliation purposes is emailed to the business on the 25th of each month. What's important is that it's July 2022 and it's received every month on the 25th. Alright, so what I love to do when I'm doing bank reconciliations is read each and every statement, each and every adjustment or information you would say, and then I just identify where I am supposed to fix the error. Is it either in the bank general ledger account or the bank reconciliation statement, or both? All right, so let's do this now. It says 2.2.1, update the CRJ and CPJ totals in the table provided and calculate the correct bank account balance in the general ledger on 31 July 2022. Okay, let's see how this one goes. And then 2.2.2, it says prepare the bank reconciliation statement on 31 July 2022. Okay, so we'll see 2.2.3 later. Let's read each and every piece of information and then we deal with what we are given. And then it says number A, the bank account in the general ledger reflected a favorable balance of 21,800 on the 1st of July. Alright, so this is just to highlight our bank account balance. Okay, and then we move on to B. B says before inspecting the July bank statement, the provisional totals in the July journals were 116 and the CRJ it was 116,400 in the CRJ and then 132,500 in the CPJ. And then number C, it says bank charges on July bank statement but not in the journal. So here what we are fixing is our journal, specifically your CPJ. Okay, And then D, it says deposit dated 20 July was not reflected on the bank statement. Deposit dated 20 July. It was not reflected on the bank statement, 22,500, which means here we are looking at your BRS. And then E, your deposit dated 29 July was not reflected on the bank statement. So we also BRS. And then F, EFT received from a debtor was correctly reflected as 5,300 on the bank statement, but incorrectly recorded as 3,500 in the journal. We're fixing our CRJ here because it's incorrectly recorded where? In the journal. And then G, it says the debit order for cell phone data 1,840 was not recorded in the relevant journal. Not recorded in the journal. It was also incorrectly duplicated on the July bank statement. So here we're fixing both the BRS and your journal. Okay. And then H, it says EFT 778 dated 31 July was not reflected on the bank statement, 6,200. We're fixing our BRS. Then I, rent received on 30 July 9,200 was recorded in the journal from a proof of payment received from the tenant. This did not appear on the statement. Did not appear on the statement, BRS. Debit order for advertising appeared on the bank statement but not in the journal, CPJ. And then the bank statement closed with a balance of, we are not given, on 25 July 2022. So it's gonna be our balancing figure. So now we identify all of the transactions that we say are going to affect our our general ledger account. Okay, so here we said this was false, true, false. I was just thinking for a moment there. Okay, so we have false, true, false. Okay, so accounting can be very tricky at sometimes. if you're getting lots of information in your brain at one point in time, it literally just plays with your mind, so be careful of that. So now we're just going to get into it. And then it says here we're going to information A. We had a bank account balance of 21,800 when we were opening. Okay, so now we're just going to fix our cash receipts journal and our cash payments journal. We were given these balances, 116,400 and 132,500. Okay, let's go to our answer book. We're already given the balances. Now you take everything that you have identified in your information. What have we identified that goes into our CPJ or CRJ? We have the first transaction. It says bank charges on July bank statement but not in the journal, 1,150. That goes to our CPJ. One there. And then we go to the next one. It says deposit dated 20 July was not reflected on the bank statement, 22,500. That's your BRS. We don't care. Also E, we skip, and then we go to F. F says EFT received from a debtor was correctly reflected as 5,300 on the bank statement, but incorrectly recorded as 3,500. So which means we understated our assets or the money that we received. Okay, so 5,300 minus 3,500. We need to add the difference, which is 1,800. Cool. And then we move on. So we were on F, and then we move to J. Okay, so J says debit order for advertising appeared on the bank statement but not in the journals. So the 740, I think we left something out. It should be the one that goes in both. Okay, yeah, it's this one, G. So G says the debit order for cell phone data 1,840 was not recorded in the relevant journal. So we are supposed to record it in the CPJ. So okay, this would be PCPJ 1840. It's 1840. And then I think we can get our totals, because there isn't any other transaction that will affect our CPJ or CRJ. 116 plus 1800. So this is 118,200, and then you add all of these, which will give you see 136,230. Okay, so now we are calculating our bank balance. Okay, we move to our information. At first they told you the bank account in the general ledger reflected a favorable balance of 21,800 on the 1st of July. So when we opened our books, we had 21,800 on the 1st of July. And then as the month went by, we made transactions and we received money valued at 118,200. And then we made payments of 136,230. And then our bank balance should be 21. Please make sure that when you calculate, your calculations are accurate. Okay, I'm getting 3770. Okay. Then now we go to the bank reconciliation statement. So on the bank reconciliation statement, you can just start by filling it in. You have your balance as per bank statement. So you can just, if you feel like it's gonna be tough for you, just say this is your debit side, it's a minus, this is your credit side, it's a plus. It's also, it might really help when you get confused at some point. And then here at the end, you can just say balance as per bank account. And you already know your balance is per bank account because we just calculated it, right? So you can just start by filling it in, and it's a favorable balance, which means it goes on to the debit side. So it's 3770. And then we move on to our transactions. So our transactions, what they were saying here is that okay, so we're looking at the transactions that are labeled your BRS. Okay, let me just circle them for easier purposes. Okay, so we have deposit dated 20 July was not reflected on the statement, on the bank statement, 22,500. So that's your BRS. It does not appear on your BRS, so it's a deposit and then it goes onto the credit side. Okay, so outstanding deposits. Let's see how many there are. It said 22,500. So okay, we're not given any information about deposit number, but we're just given the date. It's 20 July, so we're just gonna name it by the date. So it's just 2007. And then we check the rest. Okay, so we have number E. It says deposit dated 29 July was not reflected on the bank statement, 12,700. Okay, so what's the date? 29 July. It's 12,000. Okay, writing pretty fast. It's 12,700. All right, and then we move to another one. Okay, let me just say, so this has been sorted out, not this sorted out. And then we move to G. Okay, so the debit order for cell phone 1840 was not recorded. Okay, channel, it was incorrectly duplicated. So if it was duplicated, that simply means they did the debit order twice, so now they have to reverse just one. So we reverse the same amount. That means we will credit our account, because at first they debited our account, which means the bank decreased what they owe to us. Now they have to increase our bank balance, which means it's going to be 1,840. 1,840. So I'm writing this towards the end so that you know that what is following here is gonna be your it can be your outstanding EFTs. It can be your other transactions that are supposed to be there, your outstanding payments. It's an order that you can just adapt to and use it when you're doing your BRS. So you know that you're doing your correction of errors. You can just say correction of error here. Correction of error. It's really important to do your BRS in an orderly manner so that you don't get confused in the future. So you can say a correction on error of or correction of error, and then it's 1,840, and then you go to the other transactions. It says here okay, so we're done with this one. H, it says EFT 778 dated 31 July was not reflected in the bank statement, 6,200. So that's a payment. And then now there we go. It's outstanding EFT. So it's EFT 778. It was, let's check the amount. 6,200 was an EFT. So it's supposed to decrease our bank balance up by 6,200. And then if we're continuing, we have I. So I says rent received on the 30th of July, 9,200 was recorded in the journal from a proof of payment received from the tenant. This did not appear on the statement, so we're supposed to increase. So I don't know whether if you wanted to say outstanding deposits, you would have featured it here, but since it was not a deposit made by the bank, the business, you can just simply say direct deposit from tenant. You will not be penalized for such wording. So it was 9,200. So our bank balance increases by 9,200. Let me just rewrite that. 9,200. Okay. And then J, it's done. And then the bank statement closed with a balance of unknown on the 25th of July. So it is supposed to be a balancing figure. Now you calculate your credit side, and then you see which side is bigger, and then you have to balance the two. Now when you start calculate, if you can clearly see that your credit side is really, really big, and then you can just start by calculating 22,500 plus 12,700 plus 9,200 plus 1,840, and that gives you 46,240. And then this side, you take 46,240 and then you subtract these two amounts, 1, 2, so that you can get your balancing figure. And these just automatically balance because the debit side is supposed to be equal to the credit side. So 46,240, we subtract 6,200 minus 3,770, which is 36,270. 36,270. All right. And then that's just about it with your bank reconciliation statement and your CRG and CBJ. So what will make this easier is you reading everything that you're given, and then you identify what you have to fix and how much you have to fix it by. Okay. And then 2.2.2, it says prepare. Oh no, it's supposed to be 2.2.3. We've already dealt with the bank reconciliation statement. Sorry about that. And then 2.2.3, it says refer to information D. Deposit of 22,500 on 20 July 2022. Explain why the accountants should be concerned about this deposit. Provide 1 point. So if you could check here, what they're actually assessing is the safety of cash. So if you could look at it this way, let's make an example that the cash, maybe it gets stolen on its way of the deposit. Maybe the person who's supposed to deposit doesn't really deposit the full amount. So here you are actually applying internal control measures on cash. So what you're supposed to say is to state that there might be poor internal controls because people are not being supervised when they have to deposit cash, and then there might be rolling of cash. So rolling of cash is actually when someone takes cash from the business and then they pay or they deposit later because they need cash. So what I would say here is okay, wording in accounting. Okay, let's just say rolling up cash by employees. So these are the type of questions that will get you thinking, looking up at the ceiling. So it's not supposed to be like that. Just think of practical things that would really happen in life, real life scenarios, real life cases. And then now we go to 2.3. If you have any more points here, you can just simply add it for the sake of practicing. And then 2.3, we go to Molly. And then it says, show how the errors and omissions identified must be treated to correct the creditor's ledger account of credit suppliers in the books of the business. Use the table provided. Show a plus or for increases or minus for decreases next to each amount and calculate the final balance. So it says here, errors and omissions identified in the books of the business. An invoice for 8,600 was not recorded in the creditor's ledger account. It was not recorded, hence we are supposed to increase by this amount. That's what we owe. Plus 8,600. And then we move on to the second one. Easy, right? The second one says a credit invoice for 17,800 appeared in the creditor's ledger account of credit suppliers. This was for goods purchased from client stores. So what it says is that we purchased from another store, but we recorded the amount in credit suppliers creditor's ledger account, so it does not belong there. Then we have to remove it. So the amount is 17,800. Okay, 17,800. Then C, it says a credit invoice for 12,600 was recorded as 21,600 in the creditor's ledger account. So Tina, we said we owe them more, but we actually owe them 12,600. So we should decrease what we owe them. Right? How much do we decrease? By the difference. And the difference between 21,600 and 12,000, okay, let's see, what's 12,600 is 9,000. So we're decreasing our debt by 9,000. And then the next information, just D, a discount of 600 was recorded in the creditor's ledger when an EFT payment for 12,000 was made. So the business recorded a discount of 600. Fine. When we made a payment of 12,000 on the 7th of August. And then Gladys came back to us and they said, this was not granted. they didn't give us the discount because it did not adhere to credit terms. This simply means that we still owe them the 600 because they disallowed the discount of 600. So now we have to increase what we owe them by what? 600. And then we go to E, the last one. It says returns of damaged goods was recorded as an invoice 2,240. Returns of damaged goods. We recorded that as a purchase, but it was not really a purchase. We do not owe them. So what we're supposed to do at first, we remove 2,240. We are removing the purchase. Okay. Now the second recording is that we are now returning the goods. How much goods, or what is the worth of the goods that we are returning? It's 2,240. Right. So now you made two transactions of 2,240. You add these two amounts, and then you get 4,480. I just hope that you got to understand how we are doing this. At first, I'll explain again. At first, we are reducing your invoice because we did not buy, right? We are just getting rid of the error. And then the second one, we are now recording the correct format or transaction that we are supposed to record, which is 4,480. So that's why here we're going to subtract 4,480. All right. And then you calculate the balance with all those numbers. 14,800 minus 17,800 minus 9,000 plus 600 minus 4,480, which is 19,720. Okay, here's some thinking again. 2.3.2, it says Molly was disappointed that she did not benefit from the discount. How can Molly improve the internal control process to ensure that this does not happen in the future? Provide 2 points. So here what they're saying is, from the problem, Molly was not able to pay on time. It did not appear to the credit terms. And what would you suggest to Molly that she should do? So the first basic thing that you may suggest is that Molly should keep a schedule of how she pays her creditors. So keeping a schedule should be number one. Keep a creditors payment schedule. So here you don't need to go from the USA and back. You just need to get straight to the point, okay, when you're answering such questions. And then the second one, you can just say division of duties. That always, not always, but most of the time it really works on, you could divide duties for people who are taking care of your creditors, some making sure that payments are made on time. You could also improve your authorization for all payments, because let's say maybe you're doing a payment today and then it will only reflect, let's say, 3 days later. So that's also gonna be a problem for the business. That is why, let's say, you can just improve payment processes, and then one extra one I would give you is the division of duties. Like I said, division of duties, but this one is not really substantial. It's not really there, but then it would work for desperate times when you can't really think of anything. So it's division of duties among employees. Okay, so that's it on your reconciliations. So we were doing our bank reconciliation and our creditors reconciliation today. Once again, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was really helpful for you matriculants. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your friends and family who need help on accounting. Don't be afraid to do such. It is also going to be helpful for acing accounting, for the growth of the channel, for everyone to know that we are here to help you ace accounting. Other than that, it's a good night from me, and I will see you next video.